coming up. Let's do it. I want you to get excited about your life.
Here we go. Intense.
Stand by, camera set.
If you're going to talk to me, you're going to have to be honest.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
Showtime. This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Stand by, A, and roll A. Check in. Go, Dr. Phil.
Hello and welcome to the Dr. Phil Show. On today's show, we discuss the tragedy that happened in Salem after the witch trials, and how they're just now trying to get back to life as it once was. I have very many special guests here today. Our first guest here today is going to be Judge Danforth, who is the presiding judge on the trial, and also Reverend Hale, who was the expert testimony. We'll get to them. Okay, my first question is going to be for Mr. Hale. Was there ever a point in time when you thought that maybe this has gone too far?
Well, at first when I came to Salem, it all seemed very real to me. There were devils, there were spirits, there was witchcraft everywhere. But then, once they started accusing good people such as Rebecca Nurse and John Proctor, things got quite out of hand. It was not a good time for Salem.
I see, not a good time indeed. Tragic indeed. What about you, Mr. Danforth? At any time did you feel that perhaps maybe the girls were lying?
I definitely feel like the authority of the situation was upheld.
So, you're saying that you don't believe that the girls were lying at all?
Not at all. I feel like justice was served to those who are evil.
What? No. Not
John
at all.
Proctor was a witch. Rebecca Nurse was a witch.
And you feel that the girls were telling the truth the entire time?
Absolutely.
Really? Are you that stupid?
I am not stupid. I'm upholding the law. Are you trying to make a run on this court, Mr. Hale?
I quit this court a long time ago, thank you very much.
Well, I'm just saying, we are trying to uphold justice in this village. Justice!
There is no justice in this court.
Alright! Thank you both of those. Let's get a round of applause. Alright, our next guest is the juvenile justice expert, going to teach us what can there be in store for the future of these girls.
Well, the girls have a very harsh punishment in their future. You see, usually... It ripped.
Fine, juvenile justice expert doesn't get a mustache.
No. Just go. Just keep going.
What sort of punishments do you think will happen to the young girls? I understand that they were caught dancing in the woods. Now, is that going to be tried for just the dancing, or will they be or could they possibly be, accused of the murder of these innocent witches?
Well, they will certainly get punished for the dancing, of course. Usually that is just a whipping. But seeing as how they continued to lie and cause all the chaos and havoc within Salem, they will be tried a much more harsh punishment, thus being a hanging.
I see. Our next person here is a former teacher to give us a little bit of an insight on what the young girls were like before this terrible, terrible tragedy. All right, Mrs. Ma'am?
Well, yes, the girls, they were such good little children.
What would you say about Mary Warren? Was she a leader, follower, perhaps?
Mary Warren, well, she was such a follower, never a leader. She was not capable of doing such.
Alrighty, but what about Ruth Putnam? I understand that she had many a sibling die. Did that affect her in any way?
Well, there were times when she would seem a little down and on the dirt, but other than that, it's no big deal.
Alrighty, and this is the one everybody's wondering. Abigail Williams, did she sleep with your husband?
Oh, of course not. No, my husband would never do such a thing.
Are you sure she is a whore?
Well, there's not. I am abstaining from answering the question. Yeah, she did.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Everybody give this teacher a big round of applause. Our next guest is going to be a psychologist going on the sorts of feelings of regrets from the children as well as the survivors of this misattempt. Dr. Pants. Hello, I'm Dr. Pants. I've done much research on this case, and I feel like the girls were suffering from a syndrome that's not very well understood. The "oh God, I'm about to get in a lot of trouble" syndrome. Now, these girls were caught dancing in the woods, and they felt as if perhaps they were going to be in very, very big trouble. So in order to get out of that very, very big trouble, they decided to lie, and those lies got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they were in a lot more trouble. These girls probably now feel a lot of regret, along with the visitors and other members of this country. I mean city. I mean town. I mean village. The thing is, the hysteria that everyone just got caught up in, they will blame themselves for the rest of their life. It's as simple as that. Alright, thank you so much. Finally, we have a visit with the executioner himself. Mr. Executioner.
Yes.
What can you tell me about your job? Did you appreciate the Salem witch trials in any way, shape, or form?
Well, the Salem witch trials did increase the paycheck.
I see. And how did you feel about murdering these people?
Well, I felt as though they deserved it to an extent.
You get off on this sort of thing, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I see. Well, I guess I have one more question for you, and that is, did anyone have any final words, per se, the littler known words that people say before they die? Did any of that happen, perhaps? Mayhaps? Perhaps?
Well, John Proctor refused to give his name, and therefore, as he died, he said, "My name is not John Proctor."
I see. Well, that's just about it for tonight, but before I close today's segment, I'll have a few questions from our audience members. You, sir.
Yes, hello, I got a question. Dr. Phil, how do you feel about these witch trials? How do you feel?
I feel like it all started off, kind of like lighthearted dancing in the woods. One thing led to another. People were blamed for some things. I just feel like it was a big misunderstanding. Hysteria took control, and now we have a lot of dead people. A lot of dead people.
Yes, Dr. Phil?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Phil? I was just wondering, what happened to Abigail Williams?
Abigail Williams ran off with her uncle's money and became a whore, because that's what she is. A dirty, filthy little whore. You, sir.
Yeah. So, I've been listening to this whole story, and, listening to what everyone's been saying, and what do I take from this? I mean, what do I learn? What do I learn from this? Is there, a moral or anything?
I'd say the moral of the story is you can't let hysteria take control. Because once that happens and hearsay gets being caught into real consideration for something, that's when you get trouble. Trouble is a brewing. Trouble is a brewing, and you gotta watch out for that trouble a brewing. You gotta beware of the trouble a brewing, because it can be really bad. Really, really bad.